We agreed on this program with the aim of bringing an end to the mission of the international coalition, which some believe represents a form of occupation. 86 countries are present on Iraqi soil under which pretext? There is no longer Daesh, Islamic State. There is security or stability. Praise be to God. A few days ago, we were touring Wadi Horan in our convoy. Give me a justification for the presence of 86 countries. This coalition was formed in 2014, but now Iraq is a sovereign, stable state with investments. There is no longer such a thing as an international coalition to combat Daesh terrorism in Iraq and Syria. That was in 2014. This is logical talk, and everyone agrees on it. Therefore, we move towards ending that mission and establishing bilateral security relations instead. Nevertheless, we are proceeding with the agreement that was concluded or announced between Iraq and the United States to end the mission of the international coalition in stages, with a final phase due in September 2026. At that time, there will definitely be a clear program to eliminate all forms of weaponry outside the state institutions. This is everyone's demand. All political forces are discussing this, not just some.
They, the end of the international coalition mission and the existence of illegal weapons, are linked.
Certainly, yes. This is a political agreement to end any manifestations of presence that could give the impression of occupation or illegal existence. Once that justification ends, there will no longer be any reason for anyone to hold weapons outside the framework of the state. There are official security institutions. Either you join them or you pursue political work. We will not allow any party to drag Iraq into the furnace of conflicts and wars. Iraq is clear in its stance on preserving its security and stability, and that the decision of peace and war is in the hands of state institutions. No entity will be allowed to involve Iraq in wars or conflicts. I can say that this stage is the clearest in the history of relations between Iraq and the United States. Firstly, we have agreed that the mission of the international coalition has ended. That was a security aspect, which usually defines the nature of relations between Iraq and the United States, and now we are seeking to change that. In the economic sphere, this is the first phase that witnesses a clear, intensive, and qualitative entry of American companies into Iraq. We are preparing for the largest contract in the history of the Iraqi state with GE to produce 24,000 megawatts, or the equivalent to Iraq's entire current electricity production. This is the biggest project in Iraq's history, and it will be with an American company. Preparations have begun, agreements made, and a memorandum of principles has already been signed. We also reached a preliminary agreement with Chevron to invest in 4 major oil fields in Daikar province, a very important step, and negotiations are currently ongoing. Right now, a memorandum of principles has also been signed with ExxonMobil. The distinctive feature of this agreement is that, for the first time, we are contracting with a global company for oil development alongside an export system. Imagine the scale of Western investments when we talk about major companies such as Total, ExxonMobil, and Chevron coming to Iraq. What does this indicate? It shows that there is a stable environment and a clear political system with a transparent governmental policy towards relations with the rest of the world. We are therefore facing a relationship based on partnership, with no domination or anyone dictating terms. This is not acceptable. At the same time, there is no hostility or boycott. It is a balanced relationship. It is a partner country, not a sphere of influence. When we talk about investment and the optimal use of Iraq's oil and gas wealth, it is not logical that a country producing 4 million barrels of oil a day still imports petroleum derivatives worth 6 trillion of dinars annually and burns gas, yet loses $4 to $5 billion per year while importing gas worth another $4 billion. This was a flawed policy, and this government has created real solutions for these issues. Today, through contract with Total, Crescent Petroleum, a Chinese company, and national efforts, we have set a timeline. By the end of 2027, gas flaring will end, and Iraq will declare self-sufficiency in gas. These are important and much-needed reforms. There is no written or verbal agreement, neither during my appointment nor during my government's time, preventing me from running in the elections. And certainly, if such a request were made, I would reject it outright. I have political work, and I am continuing with it. The second term is not a personal ambition, but a goal to complete the path we have started. Everyone who participates in elections does so to win and reach decision-making positions to implement their programs and promises to voters. For us, we have tangible achievements, as you mentioned. Today, our accomplishments are visible in every sector and every province. Naturally, we seek to continue this path of development.
So, you aim for a second term?
Yes, certainly. We aim to complete the journey and form a government that continues what this one began. I believe these elections will witness broader participation due to the participation from young people, the youth who believe their future lies in continuing this approach. We are talking about a government that has started to address the concerns and hardships of this crucial demographic, which represents 60% of the population.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.